So the Sixers just ended a Bucks 16 game win streak, and obviously they don't really get mentioned with the Bucks and and the Celtics. Don't get mentioned with them at all. So the question is really like, should they be mentioned with those teams? Like, should they be mentioned like one of the favorites to win it all? I think they should, but I understand why they're not. All right. My biggest question mark is David. Is Joel Embiid gonna be healthy, man, throughout the whole playoffs? I mean, come on, like, is he gonna be healthy? Can we like literally in his whole career, every single playoffs, he had an injury, every single one. In 2018, this dude had a fracture in his eye that required surgery in 2018. So he had to wear the Batman mask against y'all. Remember that? He came back and they beat y'all 4-1. But he was hurt in that whole playoff run. So that's one. Number two, 2019, he had tendonitis in his knee. Then he had a stomach virus. And then he had a respiratory infection. Like, God dang. 2020, they said after the series, you being an Oster. They said after the series, right, that after they got swept by Boston in the first round, he had an ankle injury. But Ben Simmons was hurt that year. Like, Ben Simmons didn't play the whole playoff run. 2021, he had a meniscus, he had a small lateral meniscus tear in his right knee that he played through against Atlanta. And last year, he had a torn ligament in his right thumb that ended up requiring having surgery on. And he had a fracture in a mild concussion. Like, this man hurt every single playoff run. But they should be mentioned with them because look at their squad. They got a team, David. Like, we talk about who got the best duos in the NBA. James Harden and Joel Embiid should be mentioned in that conversation. Joel Embiid is you got the league leader in points playing for your team while having the league leader in assists playing for your team. So they should be mentioned. And then you look at the playoffs, they got people like DeAnthony Melton who plays defense. They got people like PJ Tucker who plays defense. I mean, they should be mentioned. But the whole question mark is Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers on the hot seat. He's still living off that 2008 championship. All right? You got all these players. You got the personnel to be in position to beat these guys. You arguably have the best player on the court, Joel Embiid. At full potential, who says Joel ain't better than Giannis or Jason? I think he's better than Tatum. Right? Who says who's not the best player on the floor when he's the best? So it's all that's the key factor. What is Joel Embiid? Will he be healthy? And will Doc Rivers do not get out coached in the playoffs? Because I believe if they don't make it, Joe Reno the injury like he worked for HR. All right. If they don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, Doc Rivers off with your head, with your contract. Hey, Tomo, you're done, son. You out of here. All right. So what you think, David?
I definitely think the Phillies should be mentioning it, but like you said, I understand why. You got two players, one that's always hurt and one that's inconsistent in the playoffs. James Harden. You mentioned Embiid, so I'm gonna mention James Harden. Now, James Harden has failed in the playoffs multiple times. I think everyone knows that. He's not the only player, but we're talking about James Harden right now. Y'all remember what happened when he played against the Spurs when Juwan Ginobili was there? He got a shot block, had turnovers in the game. They lost that series. Remember what happened when Damian Lillard was there when he was in Houston with Dwight Howard? What happened? Damian Lillard hit the shot. Goodbye. Out the playoffs. Then, I mean, the other few times going up against the Warriors, yeah, I understand Warriors is a better team, but hey, you lost. Then in the bubble season, played against LeBron James in the bubble, lost again.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden is just not winning in the playoffs. So he hasn't reached the finals yet in his career, and neither has Joel Embiid. So you're just going to go off of what have you done for me lately? And lately, they have not done anything to get themselves to the NBA Finals. Now, I understand last year, and look, Embiid is the only one that's been hurt either. James Harden's been hurt too. Remember when he was with Brooklyn, he was hurt in the playoffs, and they lost that series against the Bucks. Then last year with the 76ers, he was hurt against Miami, and we won that series. Embiid was hurt too, but I mean, we won that series. So they both need to be healthy for one, and they both need to play because I don't. Now I'm not going to worry about Embiid. If Embiid's on the floor, he's going to play his game. Harden has to be able to play his. And then you got Max. You got all these other good players on the team. You got Tobias Harris. You got players, and Doc Rivers. You've been known for choking.
Well, we know.
That's you've got one finals championship to your resume, and that's because you had Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett. You had James Posey on the team. You had Eddie House. I can go down. I can name the players. Rasheed Wallace. You had Kendrick Perkins that was on that team as well, and Rondo. Can't forget about Rondo. So you had a squad, and you have that now. But remember what you did when you had T-Mac? You were up 3-1, and then you lost. Remember what happened when you had Lob City? You were up 3-1, and you lost. You had Kawhi Leonard.
And PG.
At PG. Up 3-1, and you lost. Something's got to give. So we're just going off of history. If we're going off of history, then technically you don't deserve to be there. Now, because of the way you've played this year, yes, you deserve to be in that conversation, but you got to show us something in the playoffs in order for us to give you that. Now, I think I said that the best three teams in the East are Boston, Milwaukee, and the 76ers, and that's been consistent. So it's not like we don't respect you as a team, saying that you're not good enough. You are good enough. You just got to show us something when you get there. Now, when you get there and you show something, hey, all props to you. But until then, you got to show us something. So that's why you're not being put up there right now, because we know what you can do in the regular season. You got to show us when time counts. So until you show us when time counts, you're not going to be in that conversation. You on mute, Joe.
Sorry. The only thing I disagree with you on James Harden's situation. Now, I look at James Harden. I know we do highlight all the failures, right? But think about, besides that Portland team, every team he lost to was a better team. He lost to the Warriors twice, and he lost to Portland. He lost to the Lakers in the bubble. I mean, they were better. But don't forget, when James Harden's having a bad game 7, he got the game-winning block against OKC in the bubble. Also, he led a charge of that Houston Rockets team to come back from 3-1 against Doc Rivers, right? Against Doc Rivers. He did take that Golden State team to the 7 games. Chris Paul got hurt the last 2 games. You got to remember that. Now, we're talking about James Harden being the best player. In this team, he's not. It's Joel Embiid. So we don't need James Harden to be James Harden for real. We just need you to play smart. That's it. You ain't got to be a hero. Now, there's going to be time when your number is called, like against Milwaukee when he had to score 38. Like stuff like that, yeah. Now, one thing they do have on their side is defense. They are a great defensive team this year. You know, especially bringing in DeAnthony Melton and PJ Tucker, of course, for the playoffs. That's going to help him a lot. So Doc Rivers is a defensive specialist. So he will keep them in games defensively. The key is offensively. Are they going to be able to score points? Are they going to be able to make adjustments, like somebody said in the comment section? Now, when Doc Rivers is not doing his job and making the key adjustments, that's when Joel Embiid need to show us why he's an MVP. Seriously, I don't want to hear no excuses on Joel Embiid. We understand your coach is not going to. We understand that, but you still have shooters on the floor. I got rid of what's the name? Can't even think his name. Defensive specialist. I can't even think his name right now. You got Cuz with the Bush. You got rid of him. He can't shoot, but everybody else on the court can shoot. Can hit a 3. Can do something. So when you're on the floor, Joel Embiid, make magic happen, because you can be considered the best player in the NBA. If Joel Embiid and the Sixers go out and win a championship, Joel Embiid will be the best player in the NBA. People be saying that. So, Thibault, thank you, Daryl. Hater D, my bad. All right, so I think the Sixers should be mentioned with them, like you said. But hey, man, Joel Embiid is on you. I'm watching. Spotlight is on you. That's all I got on that. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.